Hello once again. Anyway, to finish up the first setup, all right, from our government and local law enforcement and the feds, which when the feds are involved, that means government was involved too. All right. Anyway, I know a lot of you probably think, no, this guy's off his chain, man. All right, but I'm not. All right, there's a lot of things I know about that I haven't told you about, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, the first setup is I'm down at the 509 bridge below, all right, and that car lock popped up, and God told me to go check inside to look around for clues, all right. So anyway, I decided to go ahead, look inside, all right. I went to the passenger door, opened the door, looked around inside. Anyway, the first thing I saw was some refreshers that say refresh the air. All right. And it's from Airwick, I think. Right. So anyway, I'm going like this, kind of odd that I was there and it said refresh. All right. Okay. Earlier that day, when I was getting close to the museum, I kept smelling the pollution in the air. Anyway, God was telling me, say refresh. Think about it, refresh the air now. So that's why I kept thinking about it. And next thing I know, the air started to refresh. All right, just by thought. All right, ain't that kind of weird? All right, as the air started to get cleaner and cleaner, I started smelling like a walking in a garden of lavender and lilacs. All right. The smell of that, right, was just awesome. It started making me a little on the horny side, okay, because it smelled like a beautiful female. All right. And of course, God is getting horny too. Excuse me, but I know that's not appropriate to talk about. But hey, that's the way it was. Anyway, as I'm looking around, okay, I also go into an ashtray and there's some change in it. All right. There's also two rings, the really small rings, all right, that had like ancient writing on them. Okay. And they're made of copper. All right. So I thought that was odd, but to God, what it thought was that is going to be an open marriage. I mean, whatever you love, right? It's okay. I know a lot of the churches is going to think, oh man, that's not right. It's between a woman and a man. Well, that's the way it used to be. See, God is open to marriage. All right, Zeus is open to marriage. All right, that's why a lot of churches don't like God, right? Because guess what? God used to be gay, right? And heterosexual. All right, he loved women more, but he also loved men every now and then. All right, I also did research on that, and yes, it's true. All right, now I am not gay myself. All right, I've always been against that, but because when God channeled through me and find out about him, it upset me at first, right? But I had to be open to it too. However, does that mean that I'm going to be letting them wanting to come on to me, all right? Because just because I'm used to be God Zeus, I'm no longer accept that, right? That's how I deal with it, but that's it. All right. I say I don't have no bad feelings about those people anymore. All right. Okay. I accept them. All right, for who they are, as well as anybody else. So anyway, what is let's get back to finishing up the first setup. All right. So as I'm looking around, I also see a necklace. Okay, it's strapped on the back of the seat of the headrest. Okay, and it had a Caribbean clip on it. All right, but it was like figure eight, but part of the figure eight was missing. To that, what that meant to God was when you go to one point to the next point, you go all the way around like this. Hold on, let me get my finger up here. Let me see it. I try to get it up here. It's getting... Okay, here we go. Anyway, you go like this, right? From one point, you go up and around, and then back down like this. That means go around the world to help mankind come as one. All right, with God. All right, to become one with God. All right, the true God. All right, I know a lot of you out there thinking, "Oh, no, you can't do that." I said, "Well, why not?" All right, like I said, if you go around the world and let people know, yes, God exists. His name is Zeus, and He does love you all. All right, and wants to help you all. All right. All right. Now, just because God was used to be gay, I'm not. All right. He chose me for whatever reason, and I don't know why He chose me, but here I am. All right. So anyway, to get back to, like I said, finishing up the first setup. Okay, as I'm in the car, next thing you know, I go out of the car. I put everything that I found into a back of a baby seat that was in the car. All right, I took the baby seat out, put everything that I found, even food. All right, there was baby food, and what that meant to God was food that's going to last forever. Yes, the water purification system can make food that lasts forever. All right, think about this, right? What makes food rot? Okay, so it's going to be bacteria, pathogens, uh, microorganisms. It's going to be viruses, okay, and yeah, and fungi, okay. But the three things that make food rot is going to be pathogens, bacteria, and fungi. Right. So if you eliminate that in the growing process, what happens to food? It lasts forever, don't it? Okay, not to mention that is also the cure when you also add electrolytes and antioxidants on the end, right? They actually cure cancer, like I said, the cure for AIDS, the cure for diabetes 1 and 2, like I said before, mental illness, when it open up the eye, right? It does do that too. It will open up your eye of ability, might open up the pineal gland, all right? Now, when we do that, you're going to open up, like your soul, right? Is going to open up and you're going to be calm and collective to one another. You're going to love one another like you've never done before, all right? I know you think that's not real, but I'm telling you, it will work. I did a lot of studies on it. I know what its capabilities are. Not to mention, God told me what the capabilities were. All right. And I also had to do studies to make sure what he was telling me works. So anyway, get back again. Next thing I know, the receptionist shows up. I'm in this car for almost an hour, and then the receptionist shows up, and it's her car. Ain't that a coincidence? All right. Next thing I know, she's yelling at me, "Where's my baby seat?" Because I took the baby seat out, and there was a truck in the back, and there was a gentleman inside the truck that was reading a newspaper. Now I don't know how long he was back there, right? If he was watching me the whole time, okay. But anyway, he was reading a newspaper. I took the baby seat and put it in the back of the truck. All right. I told him, and he goes like this, "What are you doing?" I go, "Just take it. It's got to go." The reason why I did that is the baby seat, that was in the car was, a muscle car, right? And what that represent to God was that car is the reason why we have pollution. Okay, all right. Cars like that cause a lot of pollution. I know a lot of you that like muscle cars. But later on, we're going to do biofuel, special biofuel that you can use on your muscle cars. All right. I mean, you got to learn that. Hey, by the way, I'm polluting the air, and it's causing global warming. All right. So think about that, people. All right. God is not happy about the things we have done. All right, to this earth. All right. It's okay to evolve, but we need to evolve the proper way. Anyway, to get back, okay, this girl's yelling at me, "Where's my baby seat? What do you do? What did you do with it?" I told her I was about ready to tell her it's in the back of a truck and it's gone. So anyway, she's calling the cops now. All right, now all of a sudden I'm going like this. Now is the cops are probably on the way. All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I look up in the sky. I don't know why. It was just above the 509 bridge in Tacoma. Anyway, as I looked up, okay, in the sky, all of a sudden these black clouds, weird looking clouds too. I've never seen clouds like that before, kind of like smoky clouds, right? Started forming together, right? And made a doorway, all right, like a door jamb, right? Next thing you know, appears God Zeus himself, all right? Yes, God Zeus himself appeared with his left index finger, and he looked like you know what he looked like? He looked like a wizard, right? But without the hat and cane or stick, all right? He had a really, really long hair, right? Really long beard that went all the way down to his knees, all right? And a Fu Manchu type mustache that went also down to his knees. All right, it was all curly hair, curly beard. He had kind of like heavy eyebrows, white, but everything was white. All right. He had a robe on. All right. Anyway, he was pointing his left index finger and looking at me with a great intent. All right, stare, and with communicating with me through my mind, he's telling me, "Howard, run! The cops are on the way." All right. But anyway, I just said my name. But anyway, he goes like this. If you're a guy over 40 and want to stay on top of your game, text all to 424. He goes like this. Goes, Howard, the cops are on the way. I'm so tired at the time. For the last 3 to 4 days, I had a hard time eating and sleeping because of that sound. All right. Everything I tried to eat, it just tasted weird to me, right? Like eating eggs. I loved eating eggs, but they started tasting like chicken shit. I thought I bought some bad eggs or something, right? So I threw them away. Anyway, everybody that likes eggs, please excuse me for saying what that tasted like. All right. I still love eggs to this day. All right. But like I said, if it tastes like that, I'll chuck it. So anyway, as a girl called the cops are on the way. All right. And as I'm looking at at God, right, and that's when I knew he was for real. All right. Okay. I believed in God at that time. I used to not believe in God. All right. I used to be an atheist. All right. That's another thing. Why would God pick me of all people? All right. Because I was an atheist. I did not believe in gods or goddesses or anything like that. Right. So anyway, I used to believe in God when I was younger. Right. But I was naive then. I was taught that way. All right. Oh yeah, another thing. Did you know that God and Jesus were one and the same? That Jesus is not God's son, but actually God Himself, and it was God Zeus. All right, that's all right, people. All right, I'm telling you the truth. All right, there's things I know about. Okay, I said not only what God told me, but things I had to do research on. All right, and it's the truth. So anyway, as the cops pulled up, all right, I'm going up to the girl and said, "Why are you doing this to me?" And the cops grabbed me, put me in handcuffs, and threw me in the back of the squad car. All right. Now, Tacoma cops. Why would the Tacoma cops, PD, be taking me to Fife Police Department? All right, when the crime happened in Tacoma. All right, why I'm going to Fife now? That's what I'm wondering. All right. So as I'm in Fife, okay, I kept wondering uh, why I'm here. All right. So anyway, when they took me out, they put me into a room. They took pictures of me. All right. Then they took me to a cell. Okay. And I'm wondering, what am I doing here? I committed no crime. Okay. Well, what I didn't know later on, when you go into a car, right, it's not yours. It's called car prowling. All right. But I wasn't car prowling. I'm looking for clues, as God's telling me to do this. All right. If God tells you what to do, would you not do it? I mean, make sure it's the proper thing to do. Okay. I mean, there's certain things I won't do, if he told me. All right. I'm not going to jump off of a bridge if he tells me to do it or anything else. Right. But anyway, as I'm there at Fife, right, they put me into a room with cameras in it. Now, I think that's illegal, but I'm not sure. Now, why would they have cameras of all things? And the window that was in my cell or on my cell door was blacked out by a piece of paper, right? So I couldn't see out. So as I'm in there, right, next thing I know, God's taking over, right, because I'm starting to hear that sound again, all right, as God's taking over my mind and body, all right, he starts chanting some weird language that I don't even know how to speak, all right, I don't know how to speak any languages other than English, all right. Next thing you know, it's some weird, it sounds like Indian and some ancient language, right, but I didn't know what it was. Anyway, next thing you know, have you ever heard birds of prey? All right. Well, you know what birds of prey are. But anyway, God's birds of prey actually come upon people, all right, in order to descend them, all right, from this earth. That's right. All I had to do is think about, or God thought about, was birds of prey. Next thing I know, I hear outside of the door, right, the officers screaming, birds of prey, duck. Right? So I'm like, I can't see out what's going on, right? But anyway, next thing I know, about maybe 30 minutes after that, all right, they come to my door and take me out and put me in a paddy wagon, right? Now they put me in a cell by myself. There's a special cell that's in a paddy wagon that's for hardened criminal, right, or a dangerous criminal, all right? So I'm in handcuffs. I'm in this cell. Now I'm looking inward at some ladies that are inside the container, right, or inside the paddy wagon. Excuse me. Anyway, as I'm looking at these ladies, they saying no. Oh, I also had the ability to smell evil. I didn't tell you about that. It was another gift that God gave me. Is be able to smell evil. You know what it smells like? It smells like heated motor oil, rotting burnt flesh. All right. That think about that smell, man. That is nasty. All right. When I smelled that, I almost wanted to make me puke. All right. But I didn't. In fact, what it did was made me angry. Right. Actually making God angry. All right. And me. Right. Because God's in me. Right. So anyway, now I'm looking at the ladies and I can see one of the ladies. She's all what do you call it, in a fetal position and looking at me with scared eyes. All right, because the smell was coming from her. I said, now, I went like this to her. Now say my name. Say my name 3 times. All right, Zeus, Zeus, Zeus. Now the reason why I say it 3 times, she's going to descend later on. All right, if she says my name 3 times. So anyway, now there's some other ladies there. One had mental illness, all right, which I got mad at her because she started like saying a bunch of like stuff that didn't make sense, right? I told her, now be quiet or I'll pull your tongue out, all right, and eat it, all right, which I would not do that, all right, or would God, all right, but he just was mad because he's, going off the hook there, all right. So anyway, now there's this other girl that was trying to get me to go in the back of there, and she was showing me how one of the doors was kind of jarred open. But I said there's no way I can remove or maneuver myself to get inside there in order to see her. Right? There was something special about that girl, right? Like she was really, really, really beautiful. All right, and she was really smiling at me. All right. So anyway, next thing I know, I kept on hearing chains rattling on the outside of the paddy wagon. Somebody's on top with chains. I hear the chains on top of the roof of the paddy wagon, and then on the sides of the paddy wagon. I go, why is that chain rattling like that? All right. So anyway, next thing you know, I'm in there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. All right. They take me out, take me back to the cell. All right. Put me in. Right. I'm like going, here we go again, man. What is going on here? All right. Next thing I know, uh, I'm inside the cell. Okay. And I'm waiting around. Now, God is telling me to make markings, right, of ancient markings, which I don't know how to do ancient markings. Okay. So I started making ancient markings invisible with my finger. Okay. Then I was in there for about another hour and a half. Okay. Then they came and got me out again. All right. And stuck me back in the paddy wagon. This time there were some gentlemen inside the paddy wagon. All right. And I smelled no evil on either of them. I even told them that I smell no evil on any of you. Okay. Who are you and why are you here? All right. Because I smell no evil whatsoever. All right. Anyway, they didn't say nothing. I go, you guys can read me, can't you? All right. So anyway, they had the ability to read God's ability, eyes of ability, which were all over my body. Okay. Anyway, now they're taking. I was in there for about maybe 45 minutes, and they decided to take off with the paddy wagon toward Federal Way. Now we're heading toward Federal Way. I'm going. Why am I going to Federal Way now? All right. They take me to some sort of civility out in Federal Way. I don't know what it was about. It had some sort of fence with cameras. All right. They took me inside. I forgot to see what the sign said, but I know where the location is. I know how to get there. I know where the location of the facility is. All right. Anyway, inside, they put me in. First, they went and tested me and put my hand through some sort of infrared light or some weird light. Okay, there was kind of like a reddish light. And when they did, there was ancient writing all over my hand, right, all over my fingers. I had some sort of pentagrams, and not Satan type pentagrams. These are some ancient writing pentagram, right, which I did not know what it was or what those ancient writings were. Then they flipped my hand over to the palm, right, and I also had ancient writings on the side of my fingers there, as well as diagrams on both hands. This was right. They did both hands, and this is what was happening. And I'm like looking like, what the hell's going on? What? Now I remember 3 days prior, right? My hands were burning and itching. I was about ready to go to the hospital because I thought maybe I touched something that was chemical or something, invisible chemical or whatever. They got on my hands and were burning and itching my hands really bad, right? But anyway, after 3 days, it calmed down, right? There was no itching or burning until that incident, right? When I saw what it was on my hands. Ain't that weird, people? Yeah. I said there was a whole lot of weird stuff that went on. I said, I know a lot of you think, oh, this guy's got mental illness or whatever. Trust me, people, I do not. Even though this current day I'm still being falsely accused of having mental illness, the reason why they do that is to discredit who you used to be, right? And your experience with God, right? And to discredit your findings of that water purification system, all right? Which is all a bunch of bullshit, all right? Excuse my language. Anyway, now as I'm going to the Shredderway and I'm inside taking that test, they stick me into a room at first. All right, I had to get. Then they transferred me to a rubber room. It was 16 by 16. I'm going, why am I in a rubber room for? All right, I ain't crazy. All right. So as I'm looking around outside, I'm wondering why they doing this to me. All right, I'm looking outside. I see all kinds of people through my portal hole. All right, I'm looking out to their portal holes. All right, and I can see the gentleman in a cell all by themselves. Now, why all them gentlemen? There was like about 5 or 6 of them who were in that paddy wagon. Now they're in a cell by themselves. I go, ain't that weird? Ain't they? Want they be separate? I don't know. Something's weird about that. Okay. All I know is they kept pacing. Every one of them pacing through that portal hole. All right, around that portal hole, and looking at me. There was others that were also looking at me. Like there was women there. They were looking at me, smiling. All right. Then something really weird happened. They had a lady there that was pregnant. Okay, or girl, I don't know, a young lady, right? Anyway, she was on a gurney and she's screaming, right, like she's about ready to give the birth. All right, instead of taking her out the door that I came in, they're putting her further into the facility. I go, why is this lady that's pregnant, about ready to give birth, and screaming her head off, all right, on a gurney in this place in the first place? All right? I mean, these are weird things that are happening, right? So as I'm looking around in my cell, I find um, about a gram and a half of weed, right? And I was looking at it, go, why is this in the cell for, right? I was thinking about eating it at the time because you get really high if you eat it. But I decided not to because I quit smoking pot a long time ago. All right. And I don't want my mind to be messed with if I try to eat that. All right. So hey, I'm pretty hungry and they feed me. All they give me is oranges. All right. So I'm gonna go no solid food, no sandwich, nothing like that. All right. But no, just oranges. So I said I ate them. I even ate the ride. Okay, or the skin, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, because I was that hungry. So anyway, as I'm going around, looking around, the room had like scuff marks all over the wall. I'm wondering how did these scuff marks get here? All right, there were scuff marks on the padding on the floor. All right, and there was a picture of a there was drawn with something black. All right, of a butterfly. Okay, saying we are one. All right. I don't know what that meant, right? And I found out later what that meant. Anyway, as I'm looking around and that, okay, next thing you know, I see um like dragons, okay, and it was perfectly drawn type dragons, but they're not like fully detailed. They're just kind of like I don't know, like hieroglyphs, all right, of dragons. All right. So I thought that was kind of weird too. So anyway, as I'm in this room, I'm getting a little tired, and they say, "No, I hear that sound again." All right, they got whatever makes that sound. They got it there in that stability. Now God Zeus is starting to amp up, all right, through me, and they saying, "I know I started doing an Indian dance. And I don't know how to do an Indian dance. All right. And an Indian chant at that as well. Right. I don't know if it's Native American. It sounded like it was a mix of different types of languages. All right. So it sounded more Native American type language. All right. Or chant. Next thing you know is I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going around in a circle and I'm walking around and walking around like this in a circle, right? And what it is, that's representing me going around the earth, all right, in order to end all evil around the earth, all right, around the world. So as I'm going in a circle doing this chant, Indian dance, all right, and I'm starting to go like this. Now, yes, I use the middle finger, and what the middle finger was is I'm going in a circle and doing this Indian chant, all right, and dance, and flipping off everybody down on the earth that's evil. I'm coming for you all right, to end it all. There will be no more evil on earth, all right. That's why our government was scared, right? Because that means even they would end too. That's our government who say, "In God we trust." Yeah, bullshit. What God do they trust? It ain't God Zeus, all right? It ain't God Himself, all right? And now the only one I think of is God's brother, is who they trust, all right? Speaking of that, I even got to meet that guy later on. Anyway, what it was, now I'm in this facility. I'm there for 2 days, all right? As I'm doing that Indian dance, okay, I got really tired and I decided to lay down, all right, and go to sleep, okay, because it's pretty late. I'm wore out. I need to get some rest. So anyway, I'm gonna have to go for now, and I'll talk to you all later again to finish up the story. Thank you and goodbye.